Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is lesson 633. Title of today's lesson is The Difference Between Discrepancy and Disparity. Okay, somebody wants a screenshot, do it right now. Let's get right to it. A discrepancy is a difference between two things that ought to be the same. Remember, ought to be means should be. So those they should be equal, but they are not. Especially in regard to facts, numbers, or claims. Okay, let's continue. Our disparity is when there is a difference between similar things, especially in an unfair way, often in regard to age, rank, like their position, wages, etc. Okay, and we got several examples here to show just how this is used. Here's the first one. The numbers did not add up. She was questioning a discrepancy in the bill. So, like if you're in a restaurant, sometimes you add it up, you say, hey, they didn't add correctly. So what you added and what the store added should be the same number, and they are not the same. So in that sense, we would say there's a discrepancy in the bill. Both of those numbers should be the same according to your adding and according to the restaurant's adding or the store's adding. Okay, let's continue. Number two, that accountant found a lot of discrepancies in their books. The numbers are way off. Well, yeah, so if you're an accountant, of course, you have to, all the expenses and, all the bills, everything that you had to pay and all the cost and then all the profit that's taken in. And, there's a lot of numbers that are minused and added, but they should still add up the same. If there are discrepancy, it probably means there is missing money, or some numbers were not added correctly, or some numbers were forgot to be put into the books or something like that. So the accountant has found some discrepancy. An accountant, he has to make all those numbers match. They are supposed to be the same. So especially with accounting, you would definitely use discrepancy. All right, number three here. There was several discrepancy in the accounts of the witnesses. All right, so this is like maybe there was a crime or there was an accident and they asked several people what happened. Now, everybody's seen the same thing, so their story should more or less be very close. But if there are discrepancies, it means the several witnesses say they saw different things. There were discrepancies. That should be the same. They all witnessed the same thing, but they're all saying some different things happened. Okay. Number four, there was a discrepancy between the GPA listed on his resume and his school records. Yes, I remember this. One of my friends from college, he applied for a job and he kind of lied on his resume. And unfortunately, they asked for school records. They got the school records and say, hey, this isn't the same as the one you put on the resume. And they actually fired him for that. But that's a discrepancy. These numbers should be the same. What you wrote on the resume and what your school records say should match. And if they don't, then that's a discrepancy. Well, let's continue. Number five, there is a disparity between the pay of men and women in the same position in that company. Well, you're assuming that, both men and women in this position should have the same salary. And you're saying that it's kind of unfair that these men are making more money than the women in the same position. Okay. Number six, there is a huge disparity in the wealth of citizens in a first world country and a third world country. Well, sometimes that's the way it is. And in a lot of ways, you may think that's unfair, but that's the way it is. If you look at the, different countries, you think everybody should more or less be equal, but no, obviously not. If they don't have a government that runs things well and the country doesn't have enough wealth for whatever reason, there will be a disparity. All right. Number seven, there is a clear disparity in the age of employees in that position. More than 95% are in their 20s, and there are only 2 employees above 40. Well, you're assuming that, it should be equal all around. Now, sometimes in some jobs, maybe it is better for a young person. Some jobs, maybe it is better for there's an older person. But here you're looking at it just from the perspective of age. It seems unfair. It seems unbalanced somehow. So in that sense, you're saying that there is a disparity. Okay, anyway, I hope you got it. I hope it's clear. I hope it was very informative. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.